Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Craig. We're not going to be looking at the second hand layout today. We're going to be looking at my exhibition standard layout. I haven't taken it to a show yet. The initial layout took me 12 days to build. That's just evenings because I was at work during quarantine. I'm sure a lot of you have actually built a layout or some sort of display during quarantine just to keep your minds busy. It's been an hard time for all of us, but as modelling gets us through things that stuff like quarantine and this COVID epidemic has got us through. This is what I've been doing. This is what took me 12 days, and this was at the start of quarantine. The layout is now up to an exhibition standard. It is for sale at the moment, purely for the fact of I need money for this, and I've got 2 or 3 other projects in my brain that I want to get on with. An exhibition standard double O gauge layout, shunting layout, and another 1 or 2 N gauge layouts as well. Other than that, there's not really much to say. I'll take you into the living room because that's where it lives, and my missus is quite lenient and she quite likes it in the living room. But we've recently bought a big cat tree and I'm having to take it down to make room for it because there's simply not enough room in the living room for the cat tree and my exhibition layout. I think it's brilliant layout. The track planner, it's just a single line. I've based it sort of around my hometown of Stocksbridge and Deepcar. It's a little bit more curvy because you can only get so much room in a 2 foot by 4 foot space. Yeah, it's a completely fictitious layout, and I like to say it's based on Stocksbridge and Deepcar, but it's not. That's why it's called the Little Don Railway instead of the Stocksbridge and Deepcar Railway, because it's quite an extensive line that itself. Sorry for the noise. I've got you next to an open window. The lighting will be better here than in the front room. So I'll take you into the front room and we'll show you what we've done and show you what my missus has done to the layout and what I've done to the layout and all the wiring underneath, because it is very simple. I made it simple purely for the fact of just to plug and play instead of having to mess about and which wire does go where and which plug goes to which plug. For exhibitions and stuff like that, it's very, very simple. It's got all working lights. I still need to add a few little bits to it, but it's nothing major. The cats have actually taken off 2 of the chimney pots on the station building, which I do need to replace, but all in good time. I've got plenty of time. There's no exhibitions coming up like anytime soon, or if and when I do sell it, they'll be put on then. It's no major problem to me, as long as everything's still intact. That's the main thing, I guess. So I'll take you in and I'll show you my exhibition layout. So we're now in the living room, and this is the Little Don Railway. It's only 2 feet by 4 foot. It's a single line operation, as you can see. It's nothing really that impressive on scale wise. I mean, it's not the biggest of layouts, and there's people with a lot bigger. All the landscaping of the layout is newspaper. The reason why I did it with newspaper is because it was cheap. Well, it was free. And it cost me £4 for a decent bottle of PVA, and I set to work. People say it's quite hard to get good land formations with newspaper, but I found it really easy to use, and it's cheap. That's the main thing. Everything in this hobby is expensive, as we all know. But the cheaper you can do your landforms, the cheaper your layout's going to be. I built this layout for just over £135, including my first train set, because they are Graham Farish first radius curves from the Eastern Freight Express. The The building in the front is a station, obviously, with the platform. This is a building that my partner built, weathered and detailed. She's made it to look quite overgrown and not really been used, which I quite like because it sets itself in with the rest of the layout. Reason for doing this is because we didn't want it to look brand new and we didn't want it to look like disused. So we thought we'd take it to an intermediate standard and have sort of an ivy look to it where it's not been looked after very well and it's just a station in the middle of nowhere. The road's also Metcalfe. It's something that I quite like using, to be honest with you, Metcalfe kits and the Metcalfe stuff itself. It looks very well, and I've done a bit of weathering on it and all sorts. I've cut a strip out so it looks like there's a level crossing there. The gates do need to be put back on. I did have gates on it, but I needed to modify them so that they're a bit longer. But overall, the road, the walls, everything on this is either kit built or hand built. The rocks in the background, those are tree bark that I've went up to woods and took my saw and I cut little bits off and I've made it into some sort of land formation in the back, which I think it looks quite convincing. When you see it in real life anyway, it looks a lot better. I've dusted a few more rocks around on the hillsides and just to make it look just to make it look more convincing. As you can see, there's rocks dotted all over. I've put in some old tree stumps as well. I've bedded those into static grass, as you can see. I think those look pretty good. There's flowers on it. These trees, these smaller trees anyway, these ones, these are wire that I've simply screwed together, put some rubberized cement on it, painted them up, and put some foliage on top, and I think they'll look better than the actual Gauge Master ones, which are these ones. I wish I'd done them all with that, but I don't want to rip them out and lose the aesthetic appeal of having bigger trees, because everyone likes big trees really. There's a big dead tree up there that I've put in. This tree is actually part of a tree that I saw and I thought, oh, that'll look pretty good, that. So I ended up taking it home and gluing it in place, and I think it looks pretty well, to be honest with you. The points are controlled by Pico PL10E point motors. Never had a problem with them. A lot of people say don't use them because the solenoids burn out and the rest of it, but I've never had a problem with them. The switches are on the back. Like I say, it's just nice and simple, plug and play. There's no need to have a massive amount of wiring underneath or anything like that. Take you over into Fiddle Yard. As you can see, it's nice and simple. You've got a run round loop, you've got two long sidings on inner, and you've got a long siding on outer. And then you've got a little siding here, that's usually for my pacer, because it is a modern day heritage line, so as we all know, pacers have been bought by heritage lines, so I thought it'd be a good idea. As you look down it, I think you can agree it looks quite nice, especially with a train running around it. All the lights are lit, as you can see. There's a button down here. All lights turn on and turn off again. Simple button switch, nice and easy. They aren't wired up to any sort of big voltage like up back of this Gauge Master Combi. The point motors are wired up to this. There's two wires, inner and outer, and there's no lighting for the light. There's no power feeds for the lights. This is under here. As you can see, it's on a plug, simple plug. That just gets put together when I'm going to go to exhibitions with it. And this runs on a 3-volt regulated supply from a wall plug, which I can get out. As you can see, there. 3-volt regulated supply. So all I do is plug that in. No need for resistors underneath. or anything like that. It's regulated, it's running a small voltage, so you don't need a big capacitor or anything like that. So as we go underneath, I'll show you the simple wiring, and it is very, very simple. That connection there, that's for your power feed to the track. Obviously it's going to be a bit of a spaghetti because you've got point motors, but like I said, there's your light cable. All these are your lighting cables as well. Those go up to a plug, up to your switch, and then to a plug. Very simple. Very, very simple. There's no need for extensive wiring on such a small layout like this. That's the overall size of it. So there you have it, guys. That's my Little Don Railway, my Exhibition Standard Railway. I hope you enjoyed the little running session. And yeah, there were a few hand-up gods and there were a few derailments, but it's engaged. Take it with a pinch of salt, because if you don't, you're a serious modeller, then there's no point really watching my episodes or watching my channel, because there's no point for negativity in the day. Reason why I've made it so low, and this is quite a hot topic for me, because I've been to so many model railway shows and all sorts, trade stands, everything like that. And reason why is because my dad and my granddad were in wheelchairs, and every time I went to an exhibition, he couldn't really see the layout for what it was, because they always built them too high so people who were standing could see the trains better. And 90% of the time my dad was looking at curtains or just looking at the battens, which I don't think is very fair. We're all there for the same enjoyment. That's the reason why I've made it so low, so everyone can enjoy the layout. Kids, people in wheelchairs, and people who are standing. Makes it a lot easier, and to be honest with you, I want to cater for everyone who actually goes to shows and wants to enjoy the day out. And I can't, my dad might end it and give up and go into shows and stuff like that with me, because he couldn't see any of the layouts, and there's no point in going if you're just going to look at wood or you're just going to look at curtains. I mean, he could have gone curtain shopping with my mum. So that's why I've built it so low, to accommodate for everybody. And some people might give me stick for it, some people might support me and believe what I'm saying, but take it with a pinch of salt. Like I say, you've got to take everything with a pinch of salt, because if you don't, then there's no point, is there? But there will be an episode up soon on my big layout. I've finished, well, my partner's finished the station hall and the main station house now, so you'll see a time lapse of that, hopefully, of her building it. So she's got red nails, I haven't. I got a nasty black one. That's from a broken finger, if anyone asks in the comments. Which I've got 17 subscribers, and I thank you all so much for enjoying my channel. That's all there is to say, really. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you have enjoyed watching my exhibition layout. Hopefully I will see some of you up and around Sheffield at the exhibitions, especially South Yorkshire. I do tend to go to quite a lot. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe. If you know any friends, tell them to watch my channel, see what they think. Any advice is more than welcome, especially from people who know what they're doing, because I ain't got a clue. I'm just making it up as I go along. So thank you very much. Please like the video, please subscribe, and I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much.